Hello and welcome to Happily Ever Reality. I'm so glad you're here. Today I'm talking about Sister Wives Season 17, Episode 13. Again, if you by some chance watched my original video that was 50 minutes long and full of tons of clips, thank you. Unfortunately, it did get a copyright claim. I had to take it down. So I'm going to go back to the way I sort of did the videos in the beginning, and that is less clips, more talking, and sometimes splitting the episode commentary into two videos. I think that sort of avoids it, and it doesn't feel like I'm just showing everyone the whole show, which is not what I want to do. And plus, even when I do show clips, it doesn't ever show all the stuff that went on in the show. It still feels like you should watch it, and I want to be sure I don't have any issues with that with YouTube. So I'm going to go ahead, and what I'm doing for this video is I'm going to do commentary on the first half of the show with Janelle and Kody when they have their meeting at the restaurant. So let's go ahead and get started talking about all the things that Kody Brown had to say to Janelle. The show doesn't actually start out at the restaurant. It does have this beginning scene and montage where it focuses on Truly going to visit Kody at Robyn's house. And I have to tell you, I thought it was really cute. She hopped out of the vehicle and Ari and Saul were there to greet her. And Ari is so excited to have her there. Like, this kid is so social and just excited to have her sister visiting. And when I made the original video, someone did leave in the comments, how much more exciting is it because of how isolated they've been? They probably haven't had that many guests, so having another kid over was probably really exciting for Truly, for Ari, which I think is true. I imagine it's even more exciting when you're not leaving your house at all. So Ari is really excited to see her, and they go inside. Kody asks her if she brought her pajamas, and Truly responds with no, and he asks why not, and she said, or he asked, are you staying all night? And she said, well, Mom said it's up to me. So I'm really glad they're not forcing those visitations yet. I think it's good. They're giving her time to feel comfortable. Of course, it is interesting. We saw in the previous episode, she stayed in the RV with Janelle. And I talked about how I felt like Kody should have went there, but he didn't. Now she is over at Robyn's, but she's not comfortable enough to stay all night. In her defense, where would you guys want to stay? Would you want to stay with Robyn or would you want to stay with Janelle? I know who I would want to go hang out with. I would absolutely go with Janelle and go stargazing versus being there with Robyn all cooped up in the house. But you know what? Truly's going to have to try to get comfortable visiting Kody where he lives, and we know that he actually lives with Robyn. Kody does try to sort of lead this whole visit in a good way. He sits down and talks to her about the books that she's reading and says that she should share them with her sisters and brothers there in Robyn's house. And so he's trying to help her be comfortable. And I just felt really proud of him doing that. Kody misses the mark so often when it comes to human emotion. To actually hear him say he wants her to be comfortable and for him to not force overnight visits, I actually thought that was pretty darn nice of Kody. So I don't know. I hope that Truly is able to, even if it's just for day visits, feel comfortable going over there with him. We see how the older children, the relationships are going with Kody. I hope Truly can build a strong relationship with him. It's going to be hard with Robyn and with Kody being the way he is, but I do hope that it works out. So that is the beginning of the show, and then we move on to Janelle and Kody at a restaurant. Now, this is where it gets interesting, or at least it was interesting for me. I felt like Janelle was really negative. She wasn't negative, but she was at a place where she felt negative about her relationship with Kody. It seemed like in the previous episodes, we have seen her feeling really frustrated, angry, rightfully so. Like, I don't want to make it sound like I'm bashing Janelle, but there's some frustration, and it's totally justified in my opinion. But when she goes to have dinner with Kody, she is wanting to work on their marriage. And then it just feels like Kody doesn't want to. It feels like Janelle wants it and Kody does. It's like Mary 2.0, but not as annoying as Mary. Like, Kody is actually flat out, in my opinion, mean to Mary, and Mary stands there and just takes it. Where Janelle and him, they don't have that sort of relationship, but you see he's not putting in a lot of effort, and he doesn't seem interested in it, and she still is. So that is where I'm saying there's a similarity. She still wants to try to make this work, but a huge, huge obstacle is the relationship that he has with her sons. And then, Kody sees that as being disloyal because Janelle doesn't choose him. She said it. I'll choose my kids and my dogs every time. To Kody, that is being disloyal. And throughout this entire episode, we hear Kody talk about that. I want a loyal wife. I have one wife that is loyal. The only thing I can get out of that is loyalty means choosing him over everyone else. So Janelle says that she's going there to smooth things over with Kody, but the first thing she does is bring up where she's spending the holidays. And we know that is a hot topic with this family because in the previous season, we saw Christine and Janelle make Kody incredibly angry when they said that they weren't going to follow all of his COVID protocols and spend Thanksgiving at Robyn's. They decided they were just going to go visit family and they weren't going to be there. Kody was very, very angry in that episode, and we end up seeing Mary, Robyn, and Robyn's children being the only people at Thanksgiving that year. So now Christine is gone, and now Janelle is saying that she is choosing to go to Maddie and Caleb's because honestly it's going to be easier. That's what she says during the confessional. But she tells Kody it's because she hasn't spent Thanksgiving with them since 2018. But truthfully, in the confessional, she acknowledges that she just doesn't want to deal with all of the COVID protocols. So I can't blame her. It's clear that he just uses these protocols and rules whenever he wants to. And it's funny because he is sitting in this restaurant with a mask hanging on his face. And as far as I can tell, there is no one near them at all. So I can only assume he's afraid of getting COVID from Janelle. Or, I don't know, he leaves it hanging off of his face in the beginning of this episode. He does take it off as they sit there and talk more. But I'm like, why was this the moment he wore a mask? I'm meeting Janelle, let me put my mask on. But he doesn't do it when he goes to the wedding. He doesn't do it when he goes shopping for the RV or to meet with the people about the RV. He just does it now. I don't know. I think we've all reached a point where we know the protocols are really bizarre. So it is what it is. He's wearing a mask while he's meeting with her. She tells him that she wants to go spend Thanksgiving somewhere else, but she will be back for Christmas. And here's the thing. We know realistically she's not saying it now. The boys are not going to go over to their dad's for Thanksgiving. Not the way their relationship is now. Kody doesn't outright get angry or frustrated. He's definitely calm during the conversation he has with Janelle here at the restaurant, but he immediately points out that there are issues that will need to be dealt with before any of them have holidays together. I don't think Kody is realizing that Janelle knows that and Janelle is trying to avoid it. But Kody starts pointing out that there are issues with him and the children.
There's a lot of stuff that has gone under the bridge here that I'm not just going to ignore.
So based on Kody's comment there, it is clear that he's not happy with his adult children. He's just not coming out and saying it, which is what they do. This family doesn't just say what the problem is, at least not while they're talking about it on the show, but it's clear that he's talking about Janelle's children. And here's my thing. I don't think Kody realizes this, or maybe he does. Let me know what you guys think. But when he is saying this stuff about their kids together, about the boys, he's just adding more and more. He's adding more and more to the list of reasons Janelle is going to end up leaving. Like every time he does this, it's going to get worse. Because telling a mother that the children can't come over until all of this is dealt with for the holidays, that's insane. She's just not going to spend the holidays with you, Kody. So Kody says that he's not going to pretend that everything is peachy. He's not going to have everyone over to his home until they work things out. And I said it in the original video and I'm going to say it again. Kody doesn't work on anything. Kody wants people to come and apologize and tell him how right he is. Kody doesn't work on things. There's no working on things for Kody Brown. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to put a little clip from the show. There's no audio, but watch Janelle's face when he says this. It's clear that she knows the truth is he just wants the children to all come and apologize to him and tell him how right he is and how wonderful Robyn is. So, as they are sitting there talking, it is clear that Robyn is a part of what they're discussing, except Kody won't ever say her name. It ends up being Janelle who says her name during the confessionals when she's talking about Kody, and she kind of points out on her own he's not saying her name. It's just really weird. I'm going to put in a little bit of audio for that. I think I've tried to wrap my brain around why he won't say her name. And my thought is that if he says her name a lot, let's say they're discussing this, and every time he wants to discuss the issue with the boys, he says, and they don't like Robyn, and they sent Robyn a message, and Robyn had her feelings hurt. It's going to become clear that everything he does is centered on Robyn, but he doesn't want to seem that way. So if he just never says her name, then she's not brought up that much. Her name is never mentioned as often. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, if he just starts saying it all the time, it'll be clear that's the person he's worried the most about. So he just doesn't say her name. I don't know. You guys let me know if you have another theory, but I'm going to put in a little bit of audio here where Kody avoids saying her name, but it is clear who he's talking about.
I'm not going to have them come to my house for Thanksgiving if they've got animosity towards me or somebody that is connected to me.
So there's a confessional after that where Janelle actually says, AKA Robyn, because it's clear, again, that's who he's talking about. But Janelle says her boys are just not going to come to him and apologize. And I think when you get young men in, that age in the early 20s, they've been hurt by their dad. Their dad has sort of ignored them, neglected them, chosen other people over them, chosen another woman over their mother. You know what? I don't expect them to go apologize to him. Good for them for standing up for themselves and for their mom and really for their siblings too. There's other siblings there that haven't been treated well. You know what? Because Kody doesn't get it when people just say things to him. But to be honest, I don't know if he gets it now. But I have no problem with the fact that these boys don't want to have anything to do with their dad. I think Kody just needs to realize he's not going to end up having a relationship with any of his adult children if he doesn't put in the work. But again, I just said it earlier, he doesn't seem to want to work at anything or any relationship except the one that's so easy it doesn't even require a lot of work, and that's the relationship with Robyn. But Janelle says her boys are not going to do this. They're not going to call him and apologize.
Maybe Garrison should try and reach out to me and sort of make amends.
His inability to realize that he needs to do some work as a parent and he needs to pick up the phone and call his children, it's absolutely amazing. This has been going on for a few seasons now. Pick up the phone and call your kids. Janelle basically told him that in season 16. I don't know why he expects everyone to do all the work. He is the father. He should be being more mature, being more calm, calling them and saying, hey, I know you're upset, but can we calm down and sort of work through this? You know what I mean? Like, he should be trying to do that, but of course it's Kody. He doesn't. I just thought it was really bold of him to look at Janelle and say, maybe Garrison should call me. No, Kody, you should call him, and you should call all of your kids. So tries to make a point that all of this is because of COVID. She says, all of this has happened because, they weren't respecting the protocols and respecting you with all of the COVID stuff. And Kody actually says, no, that's not it. And then he finally says Robyn's name, and he sort of acknowledges that a lot of this problem that he has with the boys has to do with Robyn. And he says it directly. He doesn't say with people around me. He acknowledges that Robyn and the boys are the issue.
It's not just about me. They started actually putting Robyn in their crosshairs.
Robyn puts herself in all sorts of places she doesn't need to be, and when she does, it doesn't ever seem to work out very positively. Like, can she be somewhere and connect with people and try to be close to them and be sincere and authentic? The only person that seems to really like her is Mykelti. And I have to be honest, I don't have a real strong reason to not like Mykelti, but I didn't like the way she treated Christine. I tried to find the bright side of it, like she just didn't understand what was going on in the episode where they all said goodbye. But really, Mykelti's the only one that seems to really like her besides her own children. If anyone else is close to her, you guys let me know in the comments, but Robyn has a way of upsetting everyone, and Kody never seems to see that.
There's been a lot of talking about certain people in the family.
I'm pretty sure that certain people, that's Robyn. That's Robyn. He should just say her name. I don't know what he's getting out of this. Again, I can just think he's trying to maybe protect her or make it seem like she's not as much of the issue as she is. But then Robyn actually has a confessional where she says that she got messages from the boys. Now, maybe they were unkind. Maybe they were uncalled for. Maybe there was name calling. Maybe they were mean. And I don't think it should be like that. I hope what the boys said, was direct. I hope it actually had to do with the issue and how they felt. And I hope it wasn't mean, because you don't want to have that kind of relationship with your children or stepchildren, or I don't even know how they all view each other, but you don't want to have that sort of relationship with people where there's just name calling and meanness. But I don't know that I think Janelle's boys would do that. I think they would send a text, though, where they told her how they felt about everything. But I will say this, Robyn says that she doesn't want Kody to ask them for an apology. And I think that's true. I think Robyn likes to be the damsel in distress. So she would never directly be like, I need an apology. She would never demand anything. Instead, she would be all weepy and crying like, I'm so hurt. And then Kody would be the man and go and deal with it. So I don't think she asked for an apology. I think Robyn's actually telling the truth. I think she did her act, and they are playing the game now where Kody's going to be the man of the household. He's going to be the leader and demand an apology for a weak, sobbing Robyn. So that is what I think went down. I think she is telling the truth when Robyn says she did not ask for an apology. Kody tries to explain why the relationship between Robyn and her children and everyone else in the family isn't good. And he says that it's because when they came into the family, they took time away from the other children and the other wives. And so that was just the issue. Like, they were taking time away from everyone else. And listen to what he says. And before I even put it in here, I just want to let you guys know, I talk a lot in my episodes about how Kody Brown annoys me. But this episode, Kody made me dislike him so much more than I already did, which I didn't think was that possible. Normally, though, I do find him a little bit entertaining. No, this episode, he's not entertaining. He is very, very unlikable. Listen to what he says about how everyone was adjusting to Robyn coming into the picture.
That was just too much for some of them. I think they were just jealous.
Jealous? Jealous? I mean, okay, let's say they are jealous. Let's say that was the issue. They were kids, and you were spread so thin, Kody. Multiple wives, all those children. They didn't really have a great life. There seemed to be struggles before Robyn entered the picture, and he still thought he should bring in someone else. So, you know what? I don't understand Kody. I don't know how he could talk about his kids. He seems angry when he says it. Did you hear the way he said jealous? Like, it was awful of them to feel that way. Kody doesn't realize how fortunate he is. His wives and children wanted more time with him. And instead of working on giving them more time, he felt comfortable bringing in a new wife with children and then having more children. Kody doesn't realize that he was fortunate. But now he's on the other side of it. No one's going to want to spend any time with him. So he's getting the whole other side here. They're not going to be jealous anymore. They're not going to care at all, Kody. So this is going to be the other side of this for him. But it just makes me mad. They were teenagers and young children, and they wanted more time with their dad, and he's saying they were jealous. Why doesn't he acknowledge the fact that he should have, if he was a good dad, he should have wanted more time with them? He should have said, that time was really hard. It was sad because I wanted to make Robyn feel comfortable and her children comfortable, and I had them at home, and I really felt stretched thin, and I need to work on all the trauma and all the stuff that happened in the past. But instead, he calls them jealous, and I just don't like him. I don't like Kody, guys. I don't like him in this episode. I don't like the way he talks to Janelle, and I don't like the way he talks about his kids.
There's this unwillingness for some of the family to accept other members of the family.
So Kody continues to do this thing where he doesn't say her name. I mean, who else could he be talking about? Like, let's get real. It's almost ridiculous that he's not saying it. But he continues to point out all the things that have been done wrong to Robyn, because we all know that Robyn is just perfect to Kody. And Janelle says she feels like Kody's not seeing the big picture. Like, everyone had a part in how it happened. And everything that went wrong when Robyn first came into the marriage was because they were a large family trying to adjust to new people, which is a very practical answer. It's a very practical explanation as to why Robyn didn't feel comfortable. There were already relationships that were formed. These women had entered into motherhood together. They had been with Kody a long time. Robyn wasn't just going to walk in and join the club, But it's like Kody doesn't see that. It's like he needs everyone to bend over backwards to accommodate Robyn and her kids. What did Robyn do to really make sure she fit in with them? You remember the wedding dress shopping, guys? There are so many times in the beginning where Robyn did things just to make the situation worse. And in Gwendolyn Brown's Patreon, she says that Robyn has a way of always being the victim, even with the things the kids say. And she gave an example of a time that Robyn was twisting her words to kind of make it look like she was being mean to Robyn and Robyn's kids, and she wasn't. I don't know how Kody doesn't ever see it, but it's so far. He has so much bias and he leans so much toward Robyn. I don't know if there's any undoing that. Like, how would he overcome that? What would it take? What would Robyn have to do to make Kody realize what is happening to his family? Because if he doesn't see it now, when all of his children aren't talking to him, when is he going to see it?
Who is fundamentally loyal to me, who sees me as the head of the family. I'm saying to you that you and I get that if you're loyal to me.
So if I am understanding what Kody is saying there, he is basically telling Janelle, if you are loyal to me, you let me be the head of the household, you're submissive, if you respect me, you get that. You get the relationship I have with Robyn, but with you. You're going to have that with me. All you have to do is be like Robyn. That's what I hear when I hear Kody say that, but then we go to the confessionals, and number one, Janelle is laughing. She actually laughs over it, and I think it's hysterical because what do you do, but laugh at Kody when he's being ridiculous? But then Cody's like, I'm not telling her to be like Robyn. I'm just telling her to be loyal. No, literally, I feel like he's telling her to be like Robyn. That's exactly what it sounds like to me, and that is just sort of the reoccurring theme during this whole sit down at this restaurant. Why aren't you like Robyn? Robyn's loyal. Why is everyone mean to Robyn? Robyn's kind to everyone. Robyn lets me be the head of household. Why can't you be more submissive? Like, over and over again, the story is that Robyn's perfect, their relationship is perfect, everyone else is wrong. Why does everyone else do everything wrong? That is pretty much it. And you hear it again and again in this conversation. And Janelle absolutely picks up on everything he's saying, even though he's not saying Robyn's name. No one is stupid, and Janelle is definitely not. Janelle is a smart woman, and she actually laughs after he made that comment about loyalty, and I enjoyed seeing her do it.
Side. Somebody came into our family and treated us all very kindly, and they perceived something else.
So what you actually hear there is Kody responding to Janelle saying it was the whole family. And Kody says, no, Robyn was nice. Robyn was perfect to everyone, and then everyone else was rude to her. She got a different experience than what she gave because all she was doing was being super kind to everyone. And Janelle actually says in the confessional, he's actually saying what I've always suspected, and that is Robyn is the perfect wife, and everyone will need to be like Robyn to be his wife. So, yeah, Janelle absolutely knows what he's telling her, even if he's not saying the names clearly all the time, and she thinks it's funny during certain parts. And other parts of this episode, you can tell she's very angry and frustrated with him. But he's never going to see the side where someone's saying Robyn did something wrong. Robyn's perfect to him. So, I mean, it's great that they're all trying so hard, but as a viewer, I'm going to be really surprised when there's a day, if there's ever a day, where we see Kody say Robyn was a part of the issue, because I don't see it happening. Janelle says that Kody is turning into a broken record, and he keeps retelling the story where Robyn is the victim. Everyone was unkind to her when she tried to enter the family, and all Robyn did was be nice to everyone and want to be a part of the Brown family. But Janelle says that is not how she remembers it. And she remembers that everyone tried. It was difficult to make everyone blend together. And that Robyn had a way of keeping herself separate. And this is something that I've discussed several times in several episodes. I don't think anyone should have been entering that marriage if they could not all come and live together. Robyn should have not married Kody until there was a home with space for her. Allowing her to have her own separate house made her she was the new wife. She got a special home that was just hers. It was a home that it was quieter than the home that Kody was normally going back to. He completely left the home to go visit her and left all of those children with the first 3 wives to go to this completely separate place. It was like they were a separate family. And she never had to be a part of it. One of the conditions of that marriage, the other wives should have said, she's here or it's not happening. You're not leaving and spending all this time in other places. But the reality is they didn't have room for her. So from my perspective, the marriage shouldn't have happened at all. Kody and Janelle continue to keep talking about issues within their relationship, and Kody starts in on independent women and single women, and he keeps saying that she is acting like a single woman. I'm embarrassed every time he does this. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and he starts in on it. He starts talking about all the single woman decisions that she makes. And you know what? We've talked about this. I've talked about it. I'm sure if you've listened to this or other commentary channels, of course she made decisions on her own. She was alone a lot. What was she supposed to do? Wait on him? Listen to what she says about trying to get her needs met within this relationship.
I'll ask him and my needs get ignored.
This is one of those things that makes sense to viewers but doesn't make sense to Kody. He doesn't understand that he wasn't meeting her needs, or him showing up only every other day, every few days, once a month wasn't adequate to be involved in life decisions. Just imagine that. I talk about this every time this whole situation with Janelle is brought up. Imagine needing a home to rent and you're looking, but the person only shows up at your house that you're doing this with once a month. And so you have to do all the decision making in 1 month. And then they want to know where you're going to live and they want to be involved in that decision. But they're only showing up like once a month or every other week to go look at places. And this would be the most drawn out thing of all time. And yes, I understand you can do some online shopping for places to live, but look at how Kody is. He has an opinion about everything. He's picky. He's going to complain. I feel like he's going to complain no matter what Janelle chooses. So you know what? This is why she has to make decisions for herself. She makes single woman decisions, according to Kody, like deciding to go to her children's home for Thanksgiving. That's a single woman decision. Deciding to purchase an RV. That was a single woman decision. So Kody is just on a roll about being the head of household, independent women, single women, all the ridiculous stuff that Kody gets caught up on when it comes to his relationships with his wives. It was interesting because as I was watching this and trying to find clips to put in this video, no matter where I was in this part of the show, it always was coming back to Robyn. No matter, like, they would change the subject but then still come back to it. You know, she is so loyal. You'll have a good relationship with me if you're loyal. She respected the COVID protocols. If you had done that, we would have a good relationship. You know, no one's nice to her, so I have to protect her. That's why I can't be around the kids. And to show you how Janelle is feeling, I decided to just go ahead and throw in this clip.
All I'm hearing is Robyn is perfect, Robyn is great, Robyn treats me the way I'm supposed to be treated.
Janelle really summed it up there. It is all about Robyn, and if she's like Robyn, Kody will work on it, but if she's not like Robyn, then Kody is pretty much done. He says maybe this isn't going to work. He actually just says that directly, but Janelle is telling him that she would still like to work on it. Savannah is leaving, and they're going to be empty nesters, and maybe this will be a time to reset their relationship and start something new. So it seems like she's still putting in the work here at this point. So I did find that a little bit interesting. I don't know why. Like, there was a part of me that thought she had checked out a little bit more, but she is still invested in this, and she calls Kody her lover and her best friend. And I seriously was like, ew, 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 Janelle. No, do not say lover about Kody Brown on the show, because we all have to hear it, and I don't like it, and neither does anyone else. So yeah, she is still really trying to make this work. Though, did you guys catch the part where she was like, I still have a lot of affection for him, but I don't know if it's love? I'm just at a point where I'm like, he wants her gone. I sort of think he wants Mary gone. But I do think Janelle could take or leave him too. So I'm really interested in what is going to happen. This is part 1. I'm still going to do a part 2, but I am going to wait 24 hours and see if YouTube will even let me keep this one up. I really hate to do commentaries with no clips because I just think the clips make it better, but it might just have to be me talking, guys. So you'd really have to like listening to my voice to come back and keep coming back and watching my channel without any clips from the show, but we'll see what happens. I'm going to leave this up. If it's up and it's good, then I'll go ahead and make the second half of this where we tackle Gabe and COVID, and I feel like I have even more to say. So yeah, come back tomorrow if we have another video up, then all is good. And if you have things to say, please do it in the comments. I love your guys' comments. And subscribe and like if you haven't already. Come back here to Happily Ever Reality to talk more about Sister Wives and your other favorite reality TV shows.